Hi guys, this is Bruce with Prep Hoops. Today I'm here with new CSN head basketball coach Russell Beck. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming over. We appreciate you.
Well, thanks for having us. Let's jump right into it. If you can just tell me a little bit about your previous coaching stops.
Yeah, so let's see. It kind of all started in 2004. Was an assistant coach at Dixie Junior College. Made some good friends there that DeMarlo Slocum, who is an assistant at UNLV. We were on the same coaching staff there. And after that, I went to Southern Utah, worked for Coach Evans. At that point, we were in the Mid-Con Conference, not the Big Sky, so we were playing all over the country. Had a good year there. We beat the University of Utah on their home floor. We went 16-4. I think it was the last year they truly had a winning record at SU. After that, that was the last year of Coach Evans' contract, so I got picked up at Salt Lake Community College. We went 32-4 that year and lost in the national championship game. We had a Vegas kid on our team, DeVell Jackson from El Dorado, was a first-team All-American and someone that I just love and adore and keep in touch with him still. After that, I went to the College of Southern Idaho. While I was there, I was at CSI for a year, had a chance to recruit Pierre Jackson from Desert Pines into CSI, but at the end of my first year, and right as he was transitioning coming in, I took the head job at Western Nebraska. Was there for 7 years. We really enjoyed Nebraska. We had some great players out there. After 7 years, my parents, their health was really poor. I'm one of two boys. And so I moved closer to home in Utah to make sure that my parents, some of their needs were being taken care of. Felt comfortable enough that after 3 years there and seeing their health improve that we felt like Las Vegas wasn't that much farther away from them and felt like we could jump back in the college game. So.
Okay. Now, you mentioned a couple of guys, Pierre Jackson included. I did some research. 65 guys have gone on to play major college ball under you. Can you just talk about some of the names of the players that have had success in your program?
Geez, yeah. I mean, if I'm trying to think back, it's hard to remember, all 65 off the top of my head. But,
of course.
Phil Fain went to Illinois State. Tyrell Williams, he went to Iona. These are just my guys in 2016.
Okay.
Andy Ramirez went to Hartford. Jason Pietramo was another Vegas kid, went to UNLV. Speaking towards the beginning, Fabio Nas went to Miami. Hatchelapasos went to New Mexico State. Obviously, Pierre went to Baylor. Carrick Felix went to Arizona State. Geddes Robinson, Utah Valley. Raul Delgado, BYU. Francisco Cruz, University of Hawaii. Paco Cruz went to the University of Wyoming, and I could keep going on and on. I think if I reached into the depths of my mind. So.
Well, that's a pretty extensive list, so we're certainly lucky to have you. The players are certainly lucky to have you. Now, this is going to be kind of a new challenge, right? This is your first opportunity to start a brand new program. What's some of the challenges you think you'll face?
Just the challenges, just establishing a culture. The CSN, the athletic department, very well recognized. Baseball's done a terrific job of promoting the brand within the athletic department. Softball is building and growing. Volleyball just came on the scene just a couple of years ago. I think the community's hungry for basketball. They just don't know what to expect. They've never seen a junior college basketball team in motion and built up. So I just think the excitement's there for the community. They just don't know what to expect yet. So, and I think that one of the challenges will be just the size of our gym. I think that we're going to have a lot of people to come out and watch games, and I think the seating capacity is somewhat small. So we'll have some growing pains there early, but I'd rather have a smaller gym that you can fill in the beginning rather than a bigger gym that you can't. So.
Sure, kind of a natural home court advantage.
Right.
That's perfect. Well, I've seen you, speaking of the community, making your rounds. You've been going to all the local high school games. Can you just talk to me a little bit about your opinion of the local talent here?
Man, it's honestly such a blessing and so exciting that this is probably the first place that I've been, after 13, 14 years of coaching college basketball, that I can literally go to a different practice or different game every single night and evaluate a new player or a new group of players. So that for me is really exciting. When, out in western Nebraska, up in Idaho, you had to probably drive 2 or 3 hours to get eyes on a really good player that could, impact your program. The level of talent here is immense. And I think that's why it's such a natural fit that CSN can provide, in somewhere in between 15 to 20 more kids opportunities to play at the collegiate level. that maybe would have had to leave the state, or maybe they'd be hanging it up just because of lack of opportunity. I just think that the level of talent here is phenomenal, and I'm trying to see every school in the first 60 days of the program's announcement. I'm probably like 15 to 18 into it right now. So if you're watching this and you want me to stop by your gym, please reach out. So.
Well, that's awesome. Glad to see you out there in the trenches, really looking at players. Now, what type of style can we expect from CSN? What would a Russ Beck type team look like?
The teams that I've been a part of that were my best teams were teams that could really play defense. And I think that everybody wants to hear that you want to play fast, and kids want to hear that too. We'll play as fast as our defense will allow us to play. If your defense is good and you get defensive stops, then you're always on the run. You're always on the break. If the other team's scoring a lot, then you're probably going to have to slow down. I think that's the easiest science in terms of transition basketball. So I need some guys that have a chip on their shoulder. I want some guys that play really hard, that have a degree of toughness, that can weather storms, whether that's the other team goes on a run or travel. Sometimes as immense in junior college, but need some guys with some toughness. So
okay. Now talk to us about the logistics. How many scholarships are available for the 2021 season? What conference will you guys be playing in? And who are some of the opponents that you guys will be facing?
Right. So in terms of the scholarships, we'll be growing that. As we get more funding, more sponsors, we'll be able to grow the athletics part of the scholarship a little bit more. The nice thing that we really have going for us, though, is that we can actually tie in and tap into the Millennial Scholarship, into the Promise Scholarship. So anybody that has over a 3.0 GPA and they've hit those core classes for the Millennial Scholarship, they're basically on a full ride. The Promise Scholarship is a last dollar scholarship, so we find those kids, and there'll be a few kids that we really want that maybe qualify for financial aid that are right under that 3.0 mark. But the nice thing, we can sit down, if we see on their transcript that they're over 3.0, we can basically tell them that they're on an academic full ride, as long as they qualify for that Millennial Scholarship. So
okay. And then what about the conference? Talk to me a little bit about the conference and the landscape of the conference.
So the conference I'm very familiar with, because that's probably been 90% of my career has been spent in this conference. So back in the day, Dixie Junior College was in Region 18 in the Scenic West Athletic Conference. They've transitioned to D2 and now to D1. But Salt Lake Community College in Salt Lake City, they're a national power. We're probably very similar in terms of an institution. Very few junior colleges are in major metropolitan cities. Salt Lake's one of them, and Las Vegas will be another, where they're able to draw primarily on local talent that's within 50 miles of their campus. We're in the same boat there. But they've done a great job. As some of those schools up in Utah have transitioned to either D1, like Utah Valley, or Rick's College that used to be in the campus, drop their sports, they started inheriting a group of players that they used to have to share with all those institutions in junior college, which that naturally made them, a contender for a national championship on a pretty consistent basis. So you also have the College of Southern Idaho that's up in Twin Falls. I spent some time there as well. Great support in that community. That program's been important to that community for a very long time. Lots of season ticket holders. They're under great leadership with Joel Bate up there. Snow College down in Ephraim, Utah, have a national powerhouse JUCO football program. JUCO football programs are beginning to dwindle a little bit. A lot of those programs have shut down, but that's a powerhouse there, and they've got a heck of a men's basketball team too. USU Eastern, it used to be called Eastern Utah, but they kind of were adopted into that Utah State academic institution, and so that's a satellite campus for them. But they do a great job over there. They're in Price, Utah. And then Colorado Northwestern, which is in Rangeley, Utah. Hard place to play because it's probably one of the longer trips to get to. They've been up and down in terms of success, but it's a hard, you always got to be prepared to go in and get a win when you're in Rangeley. So that would be the conference portion of our schedule. I mean, in terms of our other opponents that may be on the schedule, we'll run a jamboree in October that we're hoping that will attract 50 to 75 junior college programs from whether it be the NWAC, whether it be the California JUCO Association, or whether it be from the NJCAA, just as a showcase. We're hoping that 150 to 250 Division I schools will come in to watch that event.
Okay, sounds fabulous. Now, I know you're recruiting Las Vegas hard. What are some of the other areas that you're tapping into for your recruiting base?
Well, our primary target is to recruit Vegas kids. At minimum, 80% of our roster, kind of by mandate within our department, will be from Las Vegas. Now, that being said, if I can find 15 guys locally, then I won't step foot out of the city. That being said, I've had a lot of success with international students, especially when it comes to bigs. Over the years, Marko Kovacevic went to the University of Utah. Youssoufa Kane from Senegal went to Detroit. Dudu Gay went to South Carolina, and then as a grad transfer went to Ball State. So I've got a good pipeline to Senegal, South America, Europe, Serbia. We'll look, wherever the needs are. We're a guard city, a wing city, and I think bigs are a premium here. So we got to get the local bigs that have the talent to play at the next level, that aren't scooped up by Division I's. And then we'll probably try to supplement that on years where maybe there's not as many bigs. Maybe we'll reach out and grab a foreign big to help us out with our roster. So
Okay, that sounds like a fabulous plan. You can't do it all alone, right? Talk to me about your staff and some of the guys that you brought in to help you reach those goals.
Right. So the first guy that I reached out to, Donald Williams, was an assistant coach for San Jose State for about 11 or 12 years. I've known him a long time. He's recruited a lot of my players. I think he signed Brill Kamen, a kid from France that was on my team at Western Nebraska that ended up at San Jose State. He currently lives in California, so he's getting ready to transition to move his family out here. But we feel awfully lucky to bring in somebody of his caliber and experience. Donald's probably about 6'4", 6'5". So he's a big guy. He'll work with our bigs, and I think he'll fit in great with our community. Devin Matthews, who's coaching up in the Northwest right now at an NAIA institution. He's a local Vegas kid. I think he played at Durango and Palo Verde. Young guy, go-getter. Had a chance to just sit down and break bread with him over the Christmas break, and got permission from his coach to talk to him about this position. So it's kind of unique because he's coaching somewhere else right now. But next season, he's accepted the job to come and work with us down here. Karina McCrary will be our director of basketball operations. Met Karina while I was running the Nike basketball camps over at Durango High School this summer, and just was really impressed with her organizational skills and her coaching, her approach to the game, and I wanted her on my staff. She works over at Rancho High School, so we'll have maybe one or two more positions that we'll fill on the staff, but that's kind of where we're at in the beginning. So we're looking for, obviously loyalty is huge in the business. We're looking for people who have a good eye and a work ethic, and who want to see local kids succeed here in Vegas. So.
Okay, that's terrific to hear. Give me your vision. Where do you expect to see this program in 3 years, 5 years?
Right. We're starting from scratch. I think the opportunities are endless. I really think that within 2, 3, 4 years that we'll have an opportunity to be in the conversation nationally as a national power. I think that occurs when there's junior colleges in metropolitan cities, as we've seen with Salt Lake. As our funding gets put in place and we're able to grab some really high major out-of-state talent and secure in-state talent so that we don't lose some of those to other of our conference members or other JUCOs. I think that that's really going to help us. But I think that we'll be contending for region championships here within the first few years, and then have the opportunity to pursue a national championship in the long run. So we'll take it one day at a time, grow the program one day at a time, try to get better one day at a time, one player at a time, one possession at a time. But I have big aspirations and goals for what the program can accomplish in the long run. So.
Okay, well, that's terrific. I appreciate you sitting down with me. Before we go, just let people know where they can follow you, how they can stay in touch with CSN basketball information.
Yeah, you can, on Instagram, Coach_Beck _CSN. They can reach me on my office line, 702-651-3009, or my email, which is russell.beck@csn.edu. Athletic offices are located 303 South Water Street, downtown Henderson. And we'll be playing at the North Las Vegas campus out of the recreation center up there. So, big things to come. But, feel free to reach out to me, coaches, players. We want to take a look at everybody. We want to meet everybody and grow relationships and the coolest thing about this is the city's team. This is we want this to be all about the kids and all about opportunities and all about education and of course we want to win, but that's going to be an outgrowth of that we do things the right way. So.
Perfect. Coach, I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man. You got to get back to recruiting kids. So best of luck to you in the future, and thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.